Hey yo, you YouTube fans, it's Libers Blood here, and we're back for episode 7. Let me look this up. So we're back for episode 7 of Always Remember Me. So, little odd intro, or like a little odd way to get into the video today. In a different setup than yesterday, so not my usual place. It's a lot of fiddling with things and scheduling and all that, whatever. But we're back. So, although I said the videos would all be recorded the same day, they are not going to be now. So I'm recording this one actually the day after episode 6 came out. But I digress. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Libers. This is my channel, so a lot of what I do here is different voices and just having a lot of fun with making videos. Now, beyond that, if you are a potential interviewer employer from Upwork, which is the site I use for freelance voice work, then yes, this is also the additional materials that I recommend to all of my potential employers. That's like, well, if you want to hear more of my voice, if you want to hear more character voices than like what you're asking, this is the place to go. I will say I have a lot more fun with this, and I'm a lot more lax about a lot of these. I hate using that word. I'm more relaxed about a lot of the things I do on the channel, just because this is a space that I've created to be more creative and just to have fun and explore certain things I might not do in a particular, if I scripted things out. So this first beginning part, as you can see, I'm kind of stumbling, kind of not looking into the camera 100%. Because I don't script any of my stuff. That just seems dumb and stupid to me, just to do that for a video where it's mostly supposed to be reactions to things, or where I'm supposed to be engaging with it in a different way than I did prior. So it is a disservice, in my opinion, to do it. Also, couldn't figure out how I set up my camera last time, because it is a movable one. I'm still trying to figure out where's the best location for it. So you will see my mic right here. Let me actually fix my gain a little bit. This is just because I am still in an apartment, so outside sounds generally can get picked up, which I'm hoping doesn't happen. Barring anything else, I do hope that I can use this video, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. There might be moments where my sound will get a lot quieter because I'll be trying to edit the sound files to accommodate for maybe hearing a voice here or there in my ears, and I don't have a second set of headphones right now to have one ear in my mic to hear what it's picking up versus what I can hear. So yeah, fun. So last time we met Sean Connery. Not really. This is the voice of the Father, the Almighty Osher. It almost sounded like I said OSHA. that's a whole nother thing. Let me fiddle around with my headphones so I can actually hear. But yeah, so we left off on a cliffhanger.
What? What on earth do you mean? You heard him.
I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know that you two should have been more careful. You were the only one with him, so you should have been more thoughtful instead of putting both of you at risk. And again, these are my interpretations of how certain people's voices sound. It's been a long time since I've seen a movie with Sean Connery in it, so bear with me. This is what I think he sounds like. But yes, hopefully he's coming out very clearly. But I'm gonna try to enunciate a lot better in that voice because I know the sh can get a little muffled. You may not realize the severity of this since you were barely injured, but Aaron's suffering from great pain, both physically and psychologically, because of you. I did emphasize a lot more of that stuff. I probably shouldn't have, but it's one of those things. I feel like Osher, whatever, however the heck you say his name. Gotta be honest, there's not like a place to go to check how to actually say some of these names. Yet again, I reiterate, Amarantha. I don't know any Amaranthos in my real life. I don't even know where in history that would have been a common name. Like, ooh, Amy, Amarantha. I don't know. But yeah, so
I almost felt dizzy at his accusations. It was terribly upsetting and hardly made any sense. I felt surges of several different emotions, mainly defensiveness and anger.
So you will notice I will try to look up at the camera. It's a lot of this is me trying new things. So the camera thing, you will see me, and I will probably profile a lot to get to the mic. Just because at the same point as talking, I'm also trying to like blow out any other sound that might flood my mic by speaking a lot closer and a lot louder into the microphone when I start to hear things in the background that are getting louder. So I apologize for this odd video so far, but we're gonna keep going. So
I knew more than they did about what he was going through. Since I had been here at his side the entire time, it was more real to me than to either of them.
that is true. I will point that out. People will argue about it, but there's no argument for Abigail. Abigail doesn't know jack shit about what she's talking about. Like, she doesn't at all. So, there's that. Like, she doesn't actually know what the hell she's talking about. So, but on the other side, you have Osher, who's the dad. And I think I said this in season 1 of the show. I don't believe... How do I put it? I don't believe that you should just be entitled to like be the person who actually knows everything and like think that to be entitled to think you know everything and that you are the only person in the world who understands what's happening or to care about someone like your kid versus their significant other, especially in the scenario that you've given us. He was overseas working. Amy actually was, with him at the accident. She was the only person there, the only other person that he ever really talks to, aside from when they introduce Abigail, the dad. Like, it's really just, yeah. There's, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on that, but.
And even the mere thought of the incident being made my fault made my heart ache. I hate reading off screen sometimes. It's so frustrating because you know the English language, or like whatever language you're reading,
fluently, and then you're reading it, and whatever difference it is, reading in a book versus reading on a screen, words just tend to change. And they do. They might not physically actually change, but visually they change all the damn time. So,
After all that had happened, even if I didn't believe that it was true, that was the very last thing I wanted to hear.
tell them to stop talking about the accident. Tell them you're innocent. Okay. So as I don't remember what choice I made. I think I picked the top thing, or no, I think I might have picked the bottom to tell them that I'm innocent. But I definitely am probably not so well. Not that I'm not innocent. I probably would think that the more adult thing to do, and the more mature thing, and the more genuine, like I'm not a self-absorbed person, would be to actually tell them to stop talking about the accident. Because again, Aaron, as everybody keeps saying, has amnesia, is dealing with the physical strain of having been hit by a car, and also is dealing with the psychological and mental strain of people trying to get, like him trying to remember things, and people implanting shit in his head of like, this is kind of how you were, like, this is kind of what happened, yada yada yada. He could have a mental breakdown like at any moment, and we're talking about an accident that he still kind of doesn't understand has happened, sort of. So we're gonna tell him to shut up about the damn accident.
I'm sorry if this sounded. I'm sorry if this sounds harsh, but if you're that worried about him, then you really shouldn't be talking about the accident right now. Do you really think he likes hearing about it all the time? Osher still looked rather offended by my words.
Well, he can, you know, you think you have the right to say that.
As I said, I apologize if I'm being too blunt, but it's true. The accident was exactly that. An accident.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I get a parent being pissed that their kid is like in this situation, and somebody who was also in the accident with their child gets away scot-free. I get it. I 100% get where you're coming from. But when you hear in the entirety of the report, it was a drunk driver. Aaron was in complete control of his car, or not his car, of his motorcycle, and he swerved only because he wanted to make sure that in a vehicle where you have like very little to no actual protection against a. Okay, and we're back. So yeah, notification on my computer popped up. So that's gonna be annoying to edit, but luckily that only took about a minute to fix. So yay. So as I was saying beforehand, it's an accident. Like, you shouldn't blame the person who managed to get away scot-free. First off, it should speak more volumes. Sorry that I'm doing this something in my eye, but it should speak more volumes to the like quality of your child's personality, that they sacrifice themselves to protect another person, or they try to minimize the amount of damage that was going to be done. So instead of two people in a coma, or potentially one in a coma and one dead from a car accident, you know, it boggles the mind why you would stand there and blame the person who already feels awful that they were the one who got away scot-free with only like minor injuries. But like the fact that you're gonna stand there and berate them like that, come on, man. That's just immature and horrible. But yeah, we're gonna continue.
But as I said, it isn't going to help him at all if you two keep bringing this up time and time again.
Oh my god, like, you shouldn't talk back to your elders.
Okay. So, jeez, I don't know what's in my. So no, I can understand the sentiment. Like I grew up, being told respect your elders all the time, even if they're wrong. You should disagree with them in a respectful manner, even if they're not being respectful and if they're being immature and childish. To a degree, yes, you should respect your elders. I get that, yeah. But when they're talking out of their, you know, when they're literally pulling things from nowhere or making accusations, assumptions, or if they're just like just completely talking with their foot in their mouth, no, you should 100% talk back, because we want the future generations to be, and this is the only time I'm gonna be like, this is like oddly somewhat of like issues today in society, but it's rare that I actually get into these in the videos. But no, like you 100% should be allowed to talk back if they're completely talking, you know, excuse my language, but if they're completely talking out of their ass. And again, this is as professional as I can be in this kind of a scenario or in this kind of setting, being a video. Like there are moments where it, like, I try not to excessively swear or use profanity in my videos, but there are times where it gets called for, and like Osher's really just being just so immature about like the whole incident. Like you gotta learn to let it go. Like you can be as angry as you want at the world, but at the end of the day, you couldn't have stopped the accident. Like trained professionals couldn't stop the accident. Like you could have put somebody who's won multiple like awards or trophies for their driving skills in a motorcycle and put them in that same scenario. They're about to get hit by they're blindsided and about to get hit by a car. I don't care how much experience you have using your vehicle, there's not a chance in hell you would still be able to control like somebody, not like you wouldn't have been able to stop everybody from being hurt. Like there's people are going to get hurt either way in that scenario, and either way someone's probably not going to just skate on by without getting a coma. Like somebody's going to end up in a very critical condition. There's no way you can control that.
I'm just telling the truth.
Yes, she is. It's an important matter of discussion. Don't just try to brush it off.
Aaron's still in shock. Please be considerate of that.
Well, you are right that we shouldn't put any unnecessary stress on him.
If you two want to talk...
Sorry, I'm getting away from Amy's voice because I'm trying to like be angry and sad and all that compassionate shit.
If you two want to talk to me further, Let's do it elsewhere, okay? You should be just as considerate of his condition if you're so worried.
Ha! Of course I'm worried. I'm his girlfriend. God.
No. I don't care how the game works out. 100% she should not be in a romantic relationship with anybody based off of the information they give us. She's a horrible person. Very well. Oh, sure. Very well then. Very well then. Aaron? Yes. I mean, yes. I'm sorry for bringing this up right now. Please, get adequate rest here so you can recover faster, my son.
Abigail?
Oh my god, like what?
She glared at me pointedly when I questioned her. An apology?
Oh my god, I'm not apologizing to you.
I mean to Aaron.
Oh, I'm just stupid. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I didn't realize I was doing anything wrong.
I hate doing that. Like a lot of the acting I'm doing for the voices that you guys are now being able to see because of the new camera. And sorry about all the water, but again, I just lost my voice like a week ago. And it's only been back like the last day or two. But there's so much cringe in doing stuff, especially for Abigail, because she's just like,
I'm the best thing. I'm like the coolest thing since sliced bread.
that one hurt too.
Muttering a brief goodbye, Osher left the room without another word.
Okay, so we're free to do whatever. So we're going to visit Hugh. I always make it a point that we need to visit Hugh during certain days.
Hugh showed me some sketches of a new line of clothes he's about to create. His creativity is really amazing.
And the mall. It's a very drastic way to show that it's nighttime. I'm pretty sure malls don't turn their lights down that low. But, you know, they gotta show the passage of time, so you remember to look up over here at what the clock says. I think we're gonna go here. I'm gonna watch some TV. Yeah.
I played with Nina and then rested on the couch with her over my chest while watching TV. I was so relaxed that I fell asleep for hours. Yet I must go to sleep now, because tomorrow I have work.
Oh my gosh. If only it's easy. Only lost 2 energies. That's not too bad. You know, our energy is better than it was before. And 12 relationship. I'm still trying to remember how our thing with Lawrence got so high. And I vaguely can think that we had had a mini event with him at this point, which is probably what it was, and that just gave us extra. Either that, or it's because Lawrence always is just pining after Amy. So we're awesome. Gotta run to the ice cream parlor. Okay. Well, we've our morale is nope. I wasn't trying to go to the library. Let's go chat up Hugh again. We're smooth criminal. Only 13, and it's the same thing as before. He showed us some more sketches. Alright, so we gotta boost creativity. Should probably be our second goal right now. And the reason that is because, again, is so wrong stat. So we want creativity because that's Hugh's main stat, which is why they bring it up so much about like, oh, he's so creative. That's the stat you're supposed to go for his secret ending, because there's 2 endings per person in the game, and the game only has like, I want to say 8 potential endings, which it should have 10. And I say 10 because I think there should be a route where Amy just succeeds without finding a new love interest or regaining a love interest. Jane, man, that should be a route. She's an independent, strong, independent woman who does not need a man, and is a writer, so she can write about all of these dudes, and that should be like a road in and of itself, because they're just very odd people.
I made lots of references to famous authors and used many uncommon words. I didn't write much, but the quality is quite good.
Lesson in that right there, kids and adults. It doesn't matter how much of a thing you do, but how well you do it. Let me be more specific. If you're a writer, it doesn't matter how much you write if you write poorly. And this is actually going to segue into closing up the video. But it doesn't matter how much you write. Like, you could write a whole novel and it could be terrible. Or you could spend time and make a short story and it can be the best thing you've ever written, the best thing in the world. So, quality over quantity. But on that note, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. I know it was a little haphazard. I did go into more talking in between and making comments about stuff that was happening. So, yeah, that's something I might try to do and like pull back at times, because I do want to make comments during the video. Just because there's some things that I know I didn't go through in the first run through of the game, and it's just stuff I want to get and touch on. It's like subjects like that, like the talking back to your elders thing. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, concerns, anything and everything under the sun, moon, and stars, because we've just added the entirety of the sky into the outro. do use that comment section down below, because it is your best way of getting in contact with me, and it's a great place to find other like-minded people. If you see somebody post or comment about the video in the same way as you, or ask the same kind of question. Beyond that, if you guys want to go even further and subscribe to see more of this, hopefully where I'm not stuttering and like trying to remember what I'm trying to say, please do click that subscribe button. Oh my gosh, I said it and I said it wrong. Do click the subscribe button down below. It would be the greatest thing in the world. Really warm my heart. And you'd be supporting me to do more of this stuff, which is a little bit of a hobby, is a little bit of me kind of practicing for my career, which is acting, both vocally and visually, like actually like full stage performance. But yeah, without further ado, this is Libris Blood, and I'm signing out.